Hi, and welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. Great to have you in the conversation. 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. And Jeff Reed is my producer responsible for those state-of-the-art audio teases at the top of the program. I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the best audio teases, I believe, in conservative talk radio anywhere on any format. So, Jeff, you've kind of ridden shotgun with me now for a number of years, and you were making the observation about and so you've observed me in a lot of these debates, a lot of these discussions, and you've observed kind of a pattern or a trend, and I picked it up myself.
Yeah, every time you start quoting or bringing any facts out from the CDC or anything like that, they definitely. I mean, they have to jump in and try and talk over you. It's almost like they don't want that information to go out. I mean, it happened with who was the lady on CNN?
Yeah, Carol Costello.
She did it. Alan Combs has done it. There's several others that I don't. There were a while ago, but it's been consistent. Every time you start to bring out any of those facts, they want to talk over you. It's almost like they don't want you to bring that on the air.
Yeah, it's like, and Tom Hartman was trying to accuse me there. All you're doing is banging the Bible. Well, no, I was talking about the latest in genetic research. I went over that here on this program, talking about the latest in genetic research. I wasn't banging the Bible. I was talking about what the Bible teaches. I was unapologetic about that. Yeah. I was straightforward about that. And it's like that's all Tom Hartman wants to allow me to talk about. He doesn't want me to bring any scientific genetic evidence into the discussion that would verify the Bible or confirm the Bible. He just wants to be able to dismiss me as a Bible thumper. So when you start talking about genetics and science and the Centers for Disease Control, they lose their minds.
Yeah, and somehow they think if you bring it in the Bible, that invalidates the argument.
Right. Yeah. Well, and with Carol Costello, I remember that very distinctly.
Yeah. She got mad.
She got mad, and she just cut me off. I started talking about the Centers for Disease Control. She cut me off. She would not let me talk. She ended the interview prematurely. And then I talked about it on my program the next week, how this is the gay Gestapo. They cut you off. They don't want to listen to any evidence that contradicts their point of view. She got a copy of me talking about her, and she played that on her program the next week and said, hey, if this makes me a member of the gay Gestapo, I am a proud card-carrying member of the gay Gestapo. So they just don't want to face the truth. They can't deal with the truth. They cannot handle the truth. And like you say, it's an interesting point, Jeff, that you make. They feel that if your position is rooted in the Bible, that somehow that all by itself invalidates your point of view.
Yeah, and what you're doing is using the Bible to well, science is verifying. They're going hand in hand.
Yeah,
is what's happening. But yeah, the Carol Costello, she really got upset, and Alan Combs, and like I said, several others.
Yeah, it's just
starting to see a pattern.
Yeah, fascinating thing to watch. All right, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that. 888-589-8840. A couple of quick things. You know how President Obama said all of these plans, we got to go Obamacare because you got junk plans. You have terrible plans. They're terrible, no good. We got to give you decent health care. The insurance plans you have, they're junk. I mean, he used that word, junk plans. Well, now the Kaiser Family Foundation has done a survey, and they have discovered, remember, some of the people got to keep their so-called junk plans because President Obama postponed the employer mandate. So they got to keep their old plans. 85% of them are happy with their old junk plans. 85% of the people that have these junk plans that don't conform to all the requirements of Obamacare rate their coverage as good or excellent compared to 71% who have President Obama's state-of-the-art insurance plans. Here's an interesting thing from the Washington Post. This is amazing. This is the Washington Post. They are verifying that there has been a pause in global warming. They've got a chart up on their paper that uses data from NASA. So this is satellite information. This is not coming from any place but a government source that shows that there has been a cooling trend since 2001. A cooling trend. Washington Post showing that. It's got a big graph with the trend line right on their newspaper. And here's what they say. If this pause continues, remember it's been going on since 1995 now, almost 18 years. We're 17 years, 9 months, 17 years, 10 months into this pause. If this pause continues, it would call into question the legitimacy of many climate model projections and inversely offer some good news for our planet. So even the Washington Post now finally admitting no global warming. If this keeps up, we're going to have to do some serious questioning of all of our assumptions. You know, there was a big deal back in the invasion in Iraq about the weapons of mass destruction. We couldn't find them. We didn't find them. And everybody criticized President Bush. Bush lied. People died. Now, here's a story from the London Telegraph that ISIS, this al-Qaeda-inspired group, has discovered Saddam Hussein's chemical weapons of mass destruction cache. The Telegraph reports that ISIS has overrun a Saddam Hussein-era chemical weapons complex. The Al-Muhanna mega facility, about 60 miles south of Baghdad, gives the jihadists access to disused stores of hundreds of tons of potentially deadly poisons, including mustard gas and sarin. So in other words, what they have found, Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction depot. They existed. They have been found. And remember, we had that story from a former general in the Iraq Air Force said, look, we took a lot of these, we put them on passenger airplanes, and we shipped them off to Syria. There are some Muslims from Minnesota. They've got a big Somali community there. At least 15 of them have left Minnesota. They've left the United States to go and join ISIS in Iraq. They're over there waging jihad in the name of Allah right now as you and I speak. They've got American passports. Some of them have even managed to come back to the United States after they've engaged in jihad over in Syria. So they're over there engaging in Syria, learning all the tricks of the trade, how to blow up people you disagree with in the name of Allah, and they've got American passports. How many of them are going to be able to get back into the United States, trained up to do the same thing here? And Kenya is telling their people to watch the World Cup at home. Why? Because the Muslims will blow you up. If you get together in a bar or a restaurant and you try to watch the World Cup all together, Muslims are going to blow you up. So the Kenyan government telling people, stay home, don't go out and watch the World Cup in public. 5 days ago, gunmen slaughtered 50 people in a coastal Kenyan town while the World Cup matches were playing on TV. One woman said, look, they came to our house, they knocked on the door, they asked my husband if we were Muslims. He said, no, we are Christians, and they shot him in the head. You've got a number of other countries now where their authorities are saying, look, you better stay inside during the telecast of the World Cup. All right, that's the latest from there. Let's go to the phones. Let's grab a call from Cynthia, Palestine, Texas. Cynthia, welcome to Focal Point with Brian Fisher.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, and Cynthia, am I right? It is Palestine, Texas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my apologies. I've been calling it Palestine all these months.
Well,
I apologize. It's Palestine,
it's okay.
Texas.
Because I'm from Houston. We pronounce our words. So coming up here years ago, I thought it should be Palestine, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, first of all, that guy, that Tom, he's an idiot. And second of all, that guy that called in said that to impeach a black man, he's not black, he's Muslim.
Yeah.
We're going to impeach a Muslim.
Well, you know, and the other thing is just kind of humorous to me. He's as white as he is black. You know, he's half white, he's half black. He's just as much
Muslim
white as
now.
he is black.
Well, they said if you're born to a Muslim man, you're a Muslim.
Well, you know, and you got a point there, Cynthia. That's and that's why they've sentenced that woman Miriam Ibrahim. Why she has been sentenced to death in Sudan, because her father was a Muslim, and according to the Muslim faith, that makes her a Muslim. Mm-hmm. She has committed apostasy, which is a capital crime under Islam, and that's why they're going to hang her by the neck until she's dead. Well, this is exactly what President Obama has done. He was born a Muslim. His father was a Muslim. And according to him, he committed apostasy when he was a teenager, converted to Christianity. That makes him a heretic. Under Islamic law, there ought to be a fatwa out on his head issued by some Muslim imam that because he has committed a capital crime under Islam.
Well, my main call is, okay, you got 275 soldiers going to protect a building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, $9 trillion was spent on that that building over there in Baghdad where, here's the deal, Obama spends that much flying around playing golf wherever he wants to go.
Yeah.
I don't think 4,000 civilians and 275 soldiers is going to stop this a swarm of locusts is coming straight to that building.
Yeah. Well, and you know, Cynthia, that is the most expensive embassy compound that has ever been built in the history of mankind, and it's going to be overrun by the ISIS. They're either going to take it over or they're going to reduce that thing to rubble. You know, and President Obama is saying, look, we're not going to get involved in combat operations in Iraq. Fine. That's your intention. What happens if these 275 guys get attacked?
Right on.
Yeah. Are you telling me they're not going to shoot back? Are you telling me if they get trapped, we're not going to go to their aid? I mean, the fact that they're there means that they're in a combat zone. So that's, to me, it's just ridiculous.
It's a bigger Benghazi.
Yeah. All right, Cynthia, appreciate the call. Thank you for that. Let's grab a call from Carrie in Richmond, Virginia. Carrie, welcome. What's on your mind? Carrie, welcome.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, just in in line with that woman that was just on. You know, she was saying about Obama being a Muslim. You know, do we realize that the reason why the president is so calm about everything is because everything is going according to his diabolical plan? He's heading a malicious coup d'etat against the American government and people. You know, threatening the Senate and the people and the Congress and even the church, trying to force them into submission to his ways of doing things, or at least trying to get them silent or inactive in dealing with his impeachable offense.
Mm-hmm.
He's threatening the safety and well-being of the people opposing him. Martial law is in his agenda to force America to her knees and take over.
Yeah.
You know, and we definitely need people who, you know, I guess that's why God says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, and we love not our lives even unto the death. Because, you know, we need government and politicians in there who have counted the cost and are willing to die for the cause of Christ and the well-being of this nation and her people, God's people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and so that they'll stand against this tyrannical government.
All right, Carrie, listen, I appreciate your call, and I think that is the call. It's going to look differently for all of us, but we have to be prepared to put everything on the line to stand up for the truth and stand against tyranny. Focal Point, AFR Talk.